Welcome to Lisa. The game opens with Brad, our protagonist, getting the spleen beat out of him by some bullies. He takes the hits so his friends don't have to. He limps back home, where his dad, who is upset that he got beat up by an 8-year-old Yasuo player, greets him with an empty bottle to the face and a swift banishment to his room. Reminds me of my childhood. Brad cries himself to sleep, bloody, bruised, and broken. Cue the title card. Cut to years later, Brad has grown into a stoic, manly man living in a bleak, apocalyptic world, and he's addicted to a drug called joy. One day, while feeding his addiction, he hears cries nearby, so naturally, he investigates and he finds a baby. He attempts to comfort the baby and accidentally drops it. My mom must have been taking notes. Brad brings the baby back to his friends, the same ones he defended in the intro, only all grown now. In this world, women are extinct, so finding a baby is like discovering something that doesn't exist or giving a monkey a shower. The group is ecstatic. Brad's friends hatch a plan: sell the kid to their leader Rando and live like kings for the rest of their days. But Brad is not having it. Instead, Brad convinces the crew to build a basement hideout for the child. Flashback, we see Brad's abusive dad again, sprinkling in a little bit more trauma. Brad takes some joy, and it fades away. Snap back to reality. The child, whose name is Buddy, has grown older. Brad is out cold, surrounded by joy. Buddy, tired of living in isolation, wanders off. Brad wakes up, freaks out, and scolds her for wandering off. Buddy breaks down in tears. In a moment of either guilt or clarity, Brad decides to quit joy, cold turkey, like a heatless Thanksgiving. He focuses on building a bond with his surrogate daughter, even letting her explore the outside world in a mask. In another flashback, we get to see how emo kids are made. Brad runs from his dad and sees a neglected baby in a crib that is now his responsibility. Brad, unable to fully escape his demons, retrieves the joy he swore to abandon. This baby is his sister Lisa. Brad wakes up to barking in the distance. He investigates and finds a man stuck in a tree. This guy is Terry, our first companion. Terry begs for help out of the tree, so to help him, we have to channel our inner Michael Vick and deal with that dog. After showing why Old Yeller is a fictional book, Brad levels up, unlocking the skill Buster Punches. It's a proud moment. Terry essentially exploits Brad's introverted tendencies and decides he'll tag along with Brad. Congratulations, we now have a 2-man party. After talking to Terry, we select the pain mode difficulty, making the game harder but providing extra content. Returning home, we discover that Brad's friends are brutally beaten and Buddy is missing. Brad's inner hero awakens as he sets off alone on a quest to save her. Well, almost alone. Terry, ever the opportunist, drags himself along for the ride, and so our adventure truly begins. In the toughest fight we're going to see throughout the entire game, a man on death's bed and with no limbs challenges us. We pretty easily take him out in one hit. As we wander, Brad gets hit by a truck. Needless to say, it doesn't go well for him. We wait to find our old bullies, now all grown up, standing over us. It seems that time hasn't softened their charming personalities. They present us with a choice: either lose Terry and keep all our belongings, or spare Terry and lose everything. Naturally, we choose to hold on to our belongings. I mean, who needs friends when you got stuff, right? Continuing our journey, we stumble across a shady-looking guy lurking behind a corner. He asks us to take 2 steps to the left. Being the trusting fools that we are, we oblige, only to have him pounce on us like film students pouncing on a new Minecraft parkour civilization video. We brush ourselves off and head right, where we find a deserted truck and a broken bridge. The man tells us that Buddy was here. To keep moving forward and track Buddy, we'll need to rebuild a bridge. Time to gather resources. Our first stop is a cliff where we meet a man caring for a bunch of orphans. One of the kids, being a little too curious, lights a match. The man asks us to grab a nearby bucket to put out the fire. We find a bucket and throw it on the kids. Turns out the bucket's gasoline. Yeah, he meant the other bucket, that one filled with water. By the time we grab the right one, it's too late. Rest in peace, future Batmans. 07 in chat. Pressing on, we meet our second companion, Nern. Nern talks more than our mom running into a friend at the store. Five minutes of dialogue later, we think we're free, only for him to follow us into the next screen, still talking. After what feels like an eternity, Nern decides to join our party. Lucky us. We start Area 1 by heading to a nearby bar to buy some potato liquor for a guy offering 50 mags in the return. Mags are dirty magazines, which are currency in this wasteland. With our new mags, we recruit companions 3 and 4, Rage and Olan. Coming out of the cave, we do our best David Blaine impression by turning a man into a vegetable. The guy across the table is so entertained he gives us perfume which we can use to revive dead companions. Practical and thoughtful. Further along, we pop into a warehouse and meet Buzzo, a kind man who gives us some joy. He definitely won't be making the game much harder in the future. Next, we encounter a sensei who offers us a reward if we complete his dojo trial. We must repeatedly fall off a cliff. Not the hardest trial, but definitely the most humiliating. At least it wasn't as hard as Chance fell off after the big day. 15 falls later, we earn a scroll to power up Brad. Carrying on, we're stopped by Rando's men. After taking them out in a warm-up fight, we face Oak Tree Steve. He's tougher, but after a few solid hits, we bring him down and press forward. Our next task is to clear the area of Rando's crew so we can gain access to firebombs. Most of his men don't even fight back, making the task easy. We proceed to collect the bombs and prepare for our first boss. It's time for our first true challenge. The boss is a grotesque amalgamation of flesh. The fight is brutal as he one-shots Nern and knocks Rage out cold. We use sweet perfume to revive Nern, but Olan goes down the same churn. With half our team down, Brad delivers the final blow, finally putting the creature out of its misery. Our reward is straight from the Pokemon game, a bicycle, so we can move faster. The bike takes us to a new area where we meet another companion, Beastmaster. He challenges us to a fight, so we defeat him handedly, and he begrudgingly joins our party. I accidentally walk into a squirrel, which forces me to kill it. I mean, whatever I can do to upset PETA. In a nearby cave, we're hit with another flashback. Brad and his friends are in their early adult years. Brad's buddy is bitter, jealous of Brad's simple life teaching martial arts without family responsibilities. As he laments, Lisa appears, The screen goes red and Brad blacks out. We awaken in a strange area with what looks like Mario and Luigi watching a male stripper. Nintendo lawsuit is on the way. As we try to leave, we run into Crack Ripper and his boys. This fight is TUFF. Crack gives us an ultimatum, either hand over all our mags or fight him and his crew. Naturally, we pull up our shorts and prepare to scrap. Unfortunately, it seems like Crack and his boys have been training eye pokes with John Jones while we've been selling out with washed up boxes. Our first attempt goes wry, like a bad sandwich, and we get flattened. No big deal, we run it back, and promptly proceed to die again. As they say, third time's the charm, and with sheer determination and a lot of yelling, we finally come out on top, clutching our mags like the precious currency that they are. Moving forward, we come across the Barrel Bros, a group of Donkey Kong impersonators rolling around in barrels. Another pending Nintendo lawsuit. I hope there's a fish lawyer that can help us out in the future. After navigating through their chaos, we meet Scott, who immediately asserts himself as a grade A dick by kicking us in the groin and running off. Thanks, Scott. We backtrack to unlock a new companion, Mad Dog. The process involves jumping off a cliff. Of course, I jump off the wrong cliff, resetting my progress. After catching back up, I jump off the right cliff, find a spike club, and provide it to Mad Dog, recruiting him to the team. After some deep contemplation, we recruit Mad Dog into the party. Finally ready to move on, I have a small stroke and press the wrong button, sending Brad hurling off a cliff yet again. After catching back up, once again, we find a one-man rave. We also see Scott, the dick again. Sweet revenge is served via a quick and vicious groin kick. Poetic justice. Brad has another flashback, showing him begging his friend for painkillers. His friend, seeing Brad's destructive coping mechanism, refuses. This reveals that Brad's addiction started long before his joy days. Returning to reality, we endure a gauntlet of Barrel Bros and find Goldie, the golden hen, perched at the top of a hill. We take Goldie back to the first area and use him as ransom to recruit Rooster, our next companion. Continuing onward, we encounter a mob of men trying to break into a bar, believing Buddy is inside. The scene is a grim cesspool of depravity, like Jesse Pinkman post-Fruity Scientist incident. Everyone here is baked out of their minds and awaiting their turn with the girl. At the top of the bar, we meet the club owners, the Men's Hair Club presidents. They offer Brad a turn with the girl, but the mood sours when they realize Brad has no hair. Insulted, they attack. With the power of firebombs and moves straight out of the Fire Nation playbook, we burn through their locks and drop them like a baby. We enter the hole behind them expecting to find Buddy. Instead, we find a man tied up who is clearly not a girl. Whatever this poor guy has endured, it's not nearly as bad as playing with a ping above 50. He begs for help, promising to repair the bridge and letting us use his truck in return. Compassion and necessity wins out, and we free him. Introducing Farty Hernandez, our newest companion. On the way back to the bridge, we check on the solo raver. Sadly, it seems he gave everything he had to the party and took his own life. A sad day for humanity. Anyways, we loot his stuff and move towards the bridge. Using Farty's truck, we repair the bridge and continue our journey, inching closer to saving Buddy. The first thing we do in Area 2 is fight a Rey Mysterio wannabe and enter a cave that triggers a hallucination. Brad's younger sister, Lisa, appears. From what I'm able to gather, their father abused Lisa during their childhood, causing immense trauma for both siblings. Brad tried to protect her, but failed, leaving him riddled with guilt. Lisa's eventual suicide set Brad on the path of addiction and self-destruction he's still walking today. We return to reality, and finally, I reach a save point. Relief washes over me as I press the button to save the game, only to realize I hit circle instead. I quit out to check if I was saved. Nothing saved. Everything I did, gone. Retracing my steps, I hit the save point and am good to continue on. Our next challenge is Sweet Tea Rakim and Yui Cherry. These guys waste no time taking out Mad Dog and Olan right off the bat. With 2 party members down, our damage output just isn't cutting it and we eventually hit a game over. We reset and try again, this time using a new strategy. Mad Dog taunts Cherry to draw his attention, while the rest of my party focuses on Rakim. The plan works like a charm, and we take them both out without losing a single party member. Next, we meet Percy. Unfortunately, we witness an event that makes us envious of Dory's memory. After saving Percy from a spider, he decides to tag along with Brad, adding yet another companion to the roster. Moving forward, we pass what looks like a Mortal Kombat stage and encounter Rick, one of Brad's friends from the start of the game. When we ask Rick where Buddy is, he bolts, terrified of Brad's growing instability. As we chase him, Lisa appears, watching over us. Eventually, Rick strikes Brad, forcing us to tackle and tie him up. During the interrogation, Rick confesses that he and the old crew helped Rando capture Brad's daughter. This betrayal hurt worse than finding out my girlfriend was a furry. Rick won't give up her location, so we escalate with a hands-on interview process. Still, nothing. Behind us, there's a spiked club. We use it to encourage Rick to talk, giving him a Sloth from the Goonies makeover in the process. Finally, Rick spills. She's with Sticky, one of Rando's goons. But it's too late. Brad, consumed by rage, blacks out and continues the assault. Waking up and pressing on, we enter a cave and encounter our old friend, Buzzo, who previously had given us joy at the warehouse. Buzzo presents us with a grim choice: either sacrifice Brad's arm or lose Nern permanently. Since Nern is the Doctor Strange to our Avengers, we sacrifice an arm. This permanently lowers Brad's stats, making the run harder. Thanks, Buzzo. Next, we hit a dope-ass motorcycle section, only to crash into Rando himself. Surprisingly, Rando is pretty cool about it. In exchange for wrecking the bike, he gives us Rando rations, which fully heals our HP and SP. Unfortunately, Rando's men are less cool about the whole thing and try to take their rations back. We lay them to rest and move on. Exiting a cave, we're ambushed and forced to play Russian roulette with our crew. Companions who lose are perma-dead. The first run, we have 3 straight losses in a row. We reset faster than Superman after Joker killed Lois Lane. On the second attempt, Percy pulls off some domino-level luck, and we get through without losing anyone. Next, we encounter a team of knockoff Power Rangers fighting a snake villain. One of their members leaves, so they can't form their ultimate. So we step in and easily take out the snake villain. The Rangers disappear, leaving us to carry on. Next, we find the Dojo of Patience, where the test involves standing completely still on a stack of barrels for several minutes. Perfect time to grab a beer. This earns us another scroll, which powers up Brad. At an inn, we pay 10 mags to rest next to a creepy old man who looks like my friend Crozier. Remember this inn. We'll be back. The next section pits us against football players and hammer-throwing men. Wake up, babe. New Madden update just dropped. After a quick blitz, we grab some goodies and enter a house where all the furniture is made of people. Yes, people. Freak. The Power Rangers show up again, but this time, the Pink Ranger has gone rogue and just wants to party. He thinks Brad lives a John McAfee lifestyle and joins the team. Insert dick into our party. With the Rangers down a member, they vanish once more. We enter a dope-ass forklift section, tearing up the wasteland like a pro. The faster Brad gets his forklift certification, the faster he can pick up a goth girl. We meet Horace, whose dream is to become the best forklifter ever. When he challenges us, we fight him, showcasing our forklift mastery. After bulldozing Horace, we collect TNT to clear previously blocked paths. Returning to the inn and resting 4 times unlocks our next companion, Geese. We swap him into the party and continue. Next, we find Garth, who joins us for 150 mags. Moving on, we face the Rangers again, but this time their villain clobbers us like the Harlem Globetrotters playing a Pee-wee team. We survive, barely, and loot the area. Another dojo awaits us, this time testing us against the greatest karate opponent ever. The opponent trips as he rolls out, making our victory comically easy like League fighting Dawson in Friend Battle. We claim another scroll for Brad. At a bar, we buy some Olathian whiskey and meet Clint, who costs 500 mags to recruit. We'll return to him later. In a cave, we find a figure clutching onto an old record, more than likely to pimp a butterfly. We swipe the record, but we're forced to fight him. The figure kills Geese, but we revive him with some perfume, seeing as he needs the XP. Defeating the figure lets us leave the cave. Using the Olathian whiskey we bought earlier, we recruit Birdie, one of the better companions. Sorry, Mad Dog, you are benched. Next, we meet Bo, who reminisces about listening to music with his brother. We swap the record for his favorite tune, and Bo joins the crew. Brad has yet another flashback, starting with him popping some painkillers, a coping mechanism that my therapist would not approve of. He meets his martial arts students who clearly look up to him but can sense something's off. Brad's trauma and reliance on drugs really prevents him from connecting with them. There's a student named Dusty who's watching from the sidelines, and Brad invites him to join the class. The flashback ends there, leaving us with more questions than answers. Like children trying to fly, we jump off a cliff and land in a hidden village called the Fish Village. Here, we pick up some green paste and a heavily guarded map to Garbage Island. When grabbing the map, the fish guards catch us in the act and we're summoned to Fish Court, represented by none other than James McGill. Yes, our lawyer is a fish. Our top-tier public defender starts by pleading our innocence and casually insulting the judge, saying he sucks eggs. The jury is in chaos. Next, McGill tells the judge that we'd like to touch his wife. The jury is now standing on their fins, losing their mind. Maybe, just maybe, we can win them over. Since we can't speak fish, McGill informs us that the judge is furious. Apparently saying all these things, which we didn't actually say, isn't great for our case. Finally, McGill drops the bombshell. He doesn't want to be here. Somehow, it works, and we walk free. McGill, the fish lawyer, joins our party. Backtracking, we head to the footballer area and meet Carp. We give him some of that green paste we bought earlier and he joins our party. Easy. Next, we stumble into a male cat house. Outside, a customer refuses to pay, and the owner thoughtfully offers to grab a piece of his mind. Inside, we meet RT, who joins us after we give him a duffel bag. In another room, we raise our stats by learning what a real man feels like. Brad is low-key a freak. Understood. The cat house owner, Queen Roger, hires us to work off his staffing shortage. After servicing all his clients, don't ask, Roger owes us a favor and joins our team. Dementia pills were not included in the Roger bundle. Moving to the karate village, we meet Jack, a magician searching for his playing cards. We head left and meet Yazan Bagaut and his cat, who dream of a feline paradise. We promise to help in his search, which of course we won't, and he joins. Heading right, we face a tiger man holding the dojo hostage. Shorts up, scrap time. We make quick work of him, making sure to keep him poisoned throughout the fight. After defeating him, he respects us enough to join our team as the Dojo Buster. Further right, we buy Jack's playing cards and a dismal map, bringing Jack into the fold. We then meet Farty, who offers us a ride to Garbage Island using our map. Great, more garbage. On Garbage Island, we meet Fly Manetti, the self-proclaimed greatest kart racer ever. Clearly, he has not challenged me in Garfield Kart. Kart racing is just a glorified button mashing simulator. In other words, a Ludwig wet dream. We mash buttons through a series of races and fight Fly, destroying his confidence. After his crushing loss, he joins our team and we move on. A herd of trash gremlins block our way. For a moment, I thought we'd seen the trash man. Next, we face Georgie, the remnant of a joy addict. Brad gets knocked out, but we revive him and take down the boss. At a Swan establishment called Ollie's, we pay off a guy's debt, a whopping 2 mags, and recruit him to the team. Welcome Ollie Nichols. On the main island, we enter a cave and find rundown houses full of monsters and laboratories. I could have sworn I heard Dexter verbally abusing his sister somewhere. After clearing out the monsters, we find Doctor, a boss who we swiftly defeat. Behind him, we discover a note about the Joy Project revealing its lack of military benefit. Should have tried meth. Germany made it work. We press on to a lab marked Joy, fighting through more monsters. We're Shaggy and Scooby when you need them. The final door reveals a decomposing body and another cryptic note saying, "Sorry, my darling, but my actions are just." Backtracking, we swap Jack into our active party because he is the GOAT at combat. Using the dismal map, we sail to another island and climb a cliff with a mustache that rivals my friend Ben. At the top, a man asks us to jump off the cliff. If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you? Back up the mustache, he makes us wear a degrading dress and renames ourselves Sexy Boy. Classic loyalty test. Naturally, we oblige. We go outside and show the mustache man our dress and our new name. Returning, the man offers us a drink made of spray paint and glue. Certified freak Brad downs it. After downing the drink, Brad starts hallucinating, and we get to meet a strange creature who tells us to believe in ourselves. Thanks, man. I needed that. Back inside, the guy apologizes, saying we can't replace his boy, and he attacks us. We take him down and reclaim our name. Outside is the island's real boss. It looks like a doped up Howard Stern. After a tough fight, we leave the island heading to another area full of Wario symbols and a bunch of sun praisers. Their souls must be dark. An old man encourages a boy to pray, resulting in a miracle greater than the Daigo parry. Climbing the mountain, we fight employees who hit like they work at Waffle House. Jack gets KO'd twice, but we revive him and finish the fight. Further up, we take out 4 deer, hopefully not creating any Bambis, and face Nuggy, our next boss. This guy looks like Grimace's parallel universe twin. Debuffing him makes the fight easy. At the top of the mountain, we enter the restaurant and meet the Miracle Maker himself. Naturally, he kicks Jack off, our team, so we return the favor by finishing him off. Behind him, we enter a cave full of spiders that eerily look like our dad. The Arachnophobia x Scarecrow Toxin collab just dropped. Exiting the cave, we find a tree with Buddy's mask hanging from it. Further down the path, we finally see her in a cave. Brad, overwhelmed, immediately asks if she's okay and insists that they leave. She hesitates, fearful of him, and takes a step back. After years of being sheltered, she reveals she understands her importance to humanity's survival due to Rando and gang. Brad, blinded by fear and desperation, makes her cry, insisting she's not ready for the outside world. Ignoring her protest, we force her to come with us. Upon exiting the cave, our entire party is knocked out on some Prime Tyson vibes. We wake up to Buzzo, our not-so-friendly old friend. He offers us joy, but we refuse, not in front of Buddy. Just like me, after shooting 0 for 50, Buzzo does not take rejection well. He strikes her with a club, forcing Brad to take another pill. And another pill. And another pill. Eventually, Brad blacks out. We awaken in a surreal realm greeted by the most handsome man I've seen in years. He scolds Brad for selfishly leaving a trail of bodies to protect Buddy and attacks him. Drug-fueled hallucination or not, we take him down easily. Something about him screams, Jake Gyllenhaal, Donnie Darko. Back in reality, we press forward and encounter our old childhood bully. He taunts us with our daughter's mask and claims he'll find Buddy before us. But first, he leaves us a parting gift. Terry is back. Terry calls us a dick for abandoning him, which is completely just, and then he attacks us. We take Terry down, and in his dying breath, he tells us he loves us. Bittersweet doesn't begin to cover it. We enter a cave, triggering another flashback. This time, it's a funeral. The only staff member around notes that Brad was the only one to show up. The funeral is likely for his younger sister, Lisa. Leaving the funeral, we run into Mr. T, two-wielding Uzis. He challenges us, and we quickly remind him of who the real fool is. Next, we stumble upon one of our near-dead friends from the beginning of the game, the one who betrayed us by handing Buddy over to Rando. Barely clinging to life, he accuses Brad of selfishly possessing Buddy, claiming she's a gift meant for the world and not just him. Brad counters by saying this is his second chance at life, a chance to redeem himself, and he refuses to throw it away. We debate whether to kill him or spare him. Ultimately, another childhood friend steps in, pleading for mercy. Reluctantly, we choose to spare him. Moving on, Buzzo's men ambush us. This time, we're given the trolley problem directly out of a Saw movie. Our choices are to either sacrifice our entire active party permanently, or cut off Buddy's nipple. Luckily, I've watched enough Death Note to stay at least 36 steps ahead at all times and saw this coming. So I stacked the party with disposable companions. We let Buzzo's men slaughter them and move on, only suffering a small heartache. In a break from immersion, our daughter immediately escapes on the next screen. God damn it. Of course, Buzzo has another offer. I mean, he's basically Howie Mandel at this point. Our offer is to either lose all our items or lose another arm. Since we can't afford to lose another arm, we hand all our items over. After losing everything in the divorce, we meet Tardy, Barty's brother. He agrees to build us a boat if we can gather resources. Our next stop is the EWC, a WWE knockoff. Time to wrestle. We enter a tag team gauntlet paired with Shocklord, an EWC superstar who faceplants at opponents for 1,000 damage per hit. MVP. We breeze through the rounds until the final 3v2 fight, which doesn't seem fair, but we keep our opponents tripped and win with ease. Afterward, Shocklord picks up on our Holmes and Watson synergy and decides to join the team. Next, it's time for the solo championship belt. We plow through fights until we face the champ, Death Queen. The EWC owner wants us to throw the match, so we channel our inner Butch from Pulp Fiction and win anyways. Tarantino would be proud. With our championship belt, we recruit Sonny from a nearby cave. Back with Farty, we visit Resort Island. The ground here looks like skin, and the place feels like we just got to witness Gordon Ramsay scold a manager for the condition of his hotel. Inside, moldy meat-wad creatures roam the halls. At the top floor, we find a joy monster next to a pool of blood. You guys, I'm going home. Back on the mainland, we encounter our childhood bully once more riding in on his iconic deer. He challenges us to a race, which we win, earning some hair gel as a reward. He apologizes for bullying us before painting the ground red. Next, we head to a winter wonderland and fight some snowmen with guns. Really keeping that barrel frosty, huh? At the snowman's peak, we fight a gang guarding a toolbox that we need to fix the boat. The gang challenges us and we embarrass them so thoroughly that their leader, Buffalo Van Dyke, decides to join the roster. Next, we head to a bathhouse, where we encounter yet another joy monster. We take it out to snag some keys laying behind it. In another room, we find a tied-up man named Toby. There are quite a lot of tied-up men in this game. We'll come back to Toby later. Deeper into the bathhouse, we run into the Bathhouse Boys, who call us outsiders. We channel our inner ponyboy and show them just how golden outsiders can be. In the room they were guarding, we find a fan, which is another piece for the boat. In the final bathhouse room, we encounter a reverse centaur-looking guy. No clue why he's here or what his existence means. Probably something that would spark Aristotle's mind. Leaving the bathhouse and returning to a previously visited area, we hold Toby as ransom to recruit Crisp, our next companion. We visit another JoJo to earn Brad's last scroll. To obtain it, we endure a Looney Tunes style ordeal, taking rakes like Tom chasing Jerry. At the end of the gauntlet, we secure the scroll. Next, we head to Bloodiest Wolf, who guards a sacred tree, our last material for the boat. Naturally, we challenge him. Wolf takes out Jack, but we quickly revive him to keep the DPS flowing, finishing the fight and chopping down the tree. Moving forward, we find ourselves in a seesaw-like valley. Launching people with momentum is surprisingly fun. We run into the knockoff Power Rangers, now joyed up monstrosities. What a tragic end for our heroes. The next challenge is Satan, the game's hardest boss. His permakill moves can completely remove party members, and he spams them like Nicolas Cage cranking out movies, relentlessly, regardless of quality. We enter Satan's truck and initiate the fight. Our strategy is to keep him debuffed with Burn and Pissed. Pissed prevents him from using permakill moves, forcing random attacks, while Burn chips away at his HP every turn. We oil him up, ignite him, and piss him off. The fight goes surprisingly smooth, and we secure the win without losing a single hit point. Before finishing the boat, we revisit Russian roulette. Determined to win, we lose 4 party members in the process, but finally prevail using Crisp. The host confirms we've killed everyone, granting us our final companion, Buckets. With all boat materials gathered, we return to Tardy, who assembles the boat while the party rests. Brad, now consumed by obsession, decides to leave the party behind. He believes this is a journey he must take alone. Arriving at the island, Brad tells Tardy to stay put. Tardy, however, says he wants a piece of Buddy. Brad beats him to death and presses on. In the island's lone cave, Brad finds Buddy and Marty, his father, still alive, the source of all his guilt and trauma. Faced with the option to spare or kill Marty, we choose to spare him, but Brad, blinded by rage, overrides us and attacks Marty. Buddy, who has grown close to Marty, tries to protect him. Brad, now fully consumed by his grief, strikes Buddy aside to continue the assault. In the ensuing fight, we are forced to attack both Buddy and Marty. Buddy finally stops defending Marty, and Brad delivers the final blow. Blacking out, Brad wakes up at a save point. Returning to the cave, we find only a pool of blood is left where Marty used to be. Buddy, having taken the boat, leaves Brad stranded. Using Tardy's corpse as a makeshift raft, Brad sets out in pursuit. We arrive on what looks like Rando's Island, and we find Buddy being mutilated by a creep who scratched her face. Like John Lennon's killer, he's seeking infamy through his connection to her. Naturally, we remove him from existence. Buddy tells Brad she hates him for killing everyone who showed her kindness and proceeds to run away. Chasing Buddy, we encounter Rando's army. Brad tells her to run, but she flees towards Rando, terrified of Brad. Behind us, our party catches up. They plead with Brad to let go of Buddy, to let her become humanity's savior. Brad refuses and attacks. The fight is bittersweet. The party doesn't want to hurt Brad, but he's gone too far to see reason. So Brad defeats them and moves on. Rando's army awaits. Using fire bombs and stun moves, we take them out group by group. "24 bodies later, in one John Wick movie, we reach Rando and Buddy. Rando steps forward to protect Buddy. Brad, now running purely on willpower, attacks Rando. The fight starts with Rando bleeding Brad. Brad counters by throwing a firebomb. Eventually, Brad becomes too much to handle, and Rando succumbs to his will. Finally, we get to confront Buddy. She screams that she hates Brad for hurting her so much. Brad says he only wanted to protect her from a world that would use her. Buddy counters by saying Brad is the one who hurt her the most. In Brad's final moments, he begs for a hug, desperate to know what it feels like to be held. Buddy, despite everything Brad has done, hugs him. The game ends. Welcome to Brad's Nightmare, a haunting secret location in the game. The area begins with an unsettling confrontation. We fight our childhood dog. The loyalty and innocence of a beloved pet twisted into a challenge, setting the tone for what's to come. Moving forward, we encounter dystopian creatures and see Buddy's sword, a stark reminder of what Brad is fighting or in the pain that drives him. We press on through a cave and find Buddy, running from Rando. The screen cuts to red. Lisa and Marty appear, Lisa hanging lifelessly. Their presence a heavy echo of Brad's trauma. As we walk to the left, we're pursued by a grotesque, monstrous version of Brad himself. Brad awakens and descends a rope into darkness. At the bottom, faint dialogue echoes, a voice calling someone a thief as blows land heavily. The scene shifts, and we find ourselves in the area from the game's opening cutscene. To the right, we come across our house, littered with joy masks. Further on, we meet a gray-haired man, possibly Brad and Lisa's grandfather. He speaks about resilience, the necessity of growing up too fast in a broken world, and Marty's failings as a father. He expresses his desire to take Brad in and raise him properly, correcting the mistakes that Marty made. Inside the house, we're greeted by a bottle to the face, an all too familiar introduction. In Brad's room, we see a joyish blue apparition of Marty. His words are venomous. He tries to bully Brad into staying, wielding cynicism and guilt. He mocks the idea that life could be different, dismissing it as a fantasy planted by Brad's grandfather. He goes on to claim that Brad should be grateful for his harsh upbringing, grateful for the chance to grow up fast. Then, Marty's tone shifts. He confesses how deeply Brad's mother abandoned and broken. He begs Brad to stay, pleading for the stability that he's lost. Before Brad can respond, Marty's head explodes. Even in death, Marty's voice lingers. The de-headed figure tries to bribe Brad to stay, offering to buy him a shirt, a dark reference to the beginning of the game. We leave Brad's room and enter Lisa's. The weight of the nightmare grows unbearable as we find her lifeless form hanged in her room. Finally, we enter Marty's room. A voice croaks Brad's name from the void. Marty, now a monstrous abomination, appears before us. He blames Brad, using the same controlling, manipulative tone that defined the relationship, and threatens to teach him a lesson. We fight Marty, the battle embodying Brad's lifelong struggle against the pain and influence his father inflicted. Marty is a monster in this fight. After defeating him, Brad wakes up, transformed back into his younger self. As we climb, a somber poem is read aloud, each line punctuating the emotional journey. Bradley. It's over. She drifts further and further away, like a ghost clinging to its flesh, refusing to obey. Words can no longer suffice, nothing more you can say. Face what's in your heart, I'm waiting. Deep beneath the decay. I'm lost, but I am not gone. I was never gone, and I will never go. I will be seen. No friends, no brothers, no fathers, no mothers. Just me. Many sought refuge. I let them all in. Thousands of voices barking beneath my skin. As I drown in fire, I can't help but grin, knowing that silence was my gravest sin. Let her see me for who I am, or who I never got the chance to be, for whom no man could ever see. No friends, no brothers, no fathers, no mothers, just me. Deep below, a dark endless sea, a pain slumbers, one will never flee. Give me the strength, let your memories set us free, so that when next we meet, I may grow into a mighty tree. No friends, no brothers, no fathers, no mothers, just me. I know this wasn't easy. Thank you. And Bradley? Good luck. Do you think you have to hurt yourself? Do you think you deserve to hurt? In a way, yes. Because of what happened? Please. Should you hurt because of who you are? I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore. I feel dead inside. And I know you do too. Can't hide it either. I don't have any purpose, and it's not like I ever did. I just hate everything, so why bother? What about Grandpa? Rowdy seems fun. I just wish you would let girls join. No, trust me, karate is stupid. I hate fighting. Actually, I'm thinking of running away. What? To where? I don't care. Anywhere. I'm just not here trapped in this house with you. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. It's okay, I know what you meant. It's tough, I know. I'm worried about you. I'll be fine. The way you've been acting lately, you're really different now. I can tell you want to go. And I'm jealous. It's something I've always dreamed about. Don't worry. I won't get in your way. If, before you leave, you make me a promise. Why? Blood promise. What? Always something creepy with you. It's It's not creepy at all. We are bound by blood. So it's not weird, it's family. It's weird. A kid your age shouldn't think about something like that. Just shut up and listen to me for once. You owe me. Take this. And promise to keep it safe forever. You're joking. No. Also, be very careful. It's fragile. It's already dead. I didn't say keep it alive. I said keep it safe. This is stupid. You said you didn't have a purpose, so now you do. Is this a joke? If it was a joke, you would be laughing. Protecting this is my purpose? This is dumb. That makes me feel worse. I don't care how you feel about it. That's what I want. No matter how bad it gets, take good care of it. Now promise me. Whatever. Good enough. I know you won't let me down. Well, what about you? Anything you want me to promise? What? Why? If you really are going to leave, then I might not see you again. You should promise me something. I didn't know we had to exchange promises. I don't get your little games. I just need to know if you're going to be okay. Are you? I'm hanging in there. Good. Hey. Yeah? We never talked about what happened that day. Lisa, I can't. It's fine, that's not why I'm bringing it up. But do you remember why we got punished? I try not to think about it. One time those bullies beat you up, busted your face up really bad. You didn't want Dad to find out, so we stole Mom's makeup. We tried to hide your wounds, but I did such a bad job. I made your whole face bright pink. I didn't match your skin at all. I even put lipstick on you, which made it worse. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. You had such a huge grin on your face. I've never seen a smile that big. You even started dancing. Shut up. No. That was the most fun I ever had. Oh yeah? Yeah. More fun than tea time? Mm-hmm. You wanna know a secret? I didn't care if Dad saw me beat up. That was just an excuse to play with Mom's stuff. That was the last day we ever spoke. The last chance I had to hold you. Bradley. My boy. It's just not that easy. You can't save her. You can't even save yourself. After all, I'm in your veins. In a post-credits scene, we see Brad awaken as a joy monster. His addiction has finally consumed him. Crawling to a nearby house, he sees Buddy sleeping inside. In his delusion, he whispers, "Lisa." The final flashback shows Brad finding a young rando, his martial arts student who he invited to the class earlier. His face being freshly mutilated. A young rando explains that a crazed man with a saw did this, saying, "This is for Lisa." That man was Buzzo. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I recommend playing through this game because there's a lot of stuff I didn't cover, a lot of charm, a lot of great artwork, some secrets I didn't cover, so give it a go. It's like $3 on G2A, and you'll probably have a great time. Yo, is that you, Daniel?
Dude.
I just set a bunch of orphans on fire.
Good man.
Thanks.
Oh.
Yo, is that John?
Show us John.
Nerd.
That's insane.
Is that Derb?
Which one?
Everyone's talking.
I can't keep doing that. He is done rolling around
He's
in
tired.
a barrel. Alright. No way!
Game over.
That's not the cliff it was talking about. Okay. Thank Christ I saved. Should I put Mac Dog as part of the party?
Absolutely.
Alright, dude. It's time to... No! No! I just lost so much progress! Oh, Christ!